Hello, this is Antoine with another episode of Out and Up, where we encourage young athletes to achieve their very best outside of the game. And like every show, we're blessed to have another awesome guest, and y'all know how I do. I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself.
How you doing? I'm Coach Mcduffie, Marcus Mcduffie, head varsity coach at Douglas Byrd High School here in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Thank you, Coach McDuffie, for taking time out of your schedule to join us. You ready to get into the questions?
Yes.
All right, Coach McDuffie, before we get into where you're at now as the head coach at Douglas Byrd, I just want first, we always go from the beginning. When did you get started in sports in your youth?
I got started at an early age. My parents started me off at an early age, putting the ball in my hand when I could start walking, before I could start walking, really. And I started off playing flag football to playing baseball and playing basketball.
All right, all right. And I kind of went out of order with the questions, but I'm going to ask, where are you originally from, born and raised?
I'm born and raised from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay, all right. So still in Fayetteville. I just want to ask, as you went on through your youth, did you kind of grow a passion for one sport more than the other?
Yes, basketball became my love for in sports. I just liked how you had to work as a team, and I liked the way you had to train to get ready to play the sport, and how it made you think on and off the floor to prepare to play basketball.
That's good. That's good. So I want to ask, like, at when you were playing, I have so many guests, some of my collegiate guests that come on, and travel ball is so big. When you play basketball, was it just like rec center ball at that time? Did they have travel teams at that
No,
time?
back then they called it primarily AAU.
Okay.
It wasn't yet travel ball. They call it Amateur Athletic Union.
Okay.
And where it is different now, you started off in basically regionals, then you
Uh-huh.
went to state, and then from state, if you won, you went to the nationals. It's not how it is now. Every weekend you're playing in a tournament. You basically, if got out of regionals, you went to the state. You got out of state, you went to the nationals, and that was it.
Okay. All right. So I always like to ask this question, and whoever my guest is, especially when it's connected to a sport where they have club or travel, for you, and we're going to get into even travel ball, because you've coached for years now, even including travel ball. But I want to ask, for the young athlete, how important is it for them to be involved in travel ball if they want to play at a high level?
The thing is about travel basketball is not for everybody. Everybody thinks that if they play travel basketball, that they're going to get seen. But when it comes down to it, you gotta work on your fundamentals to the basketball game. And if you don't have that, you're just I'm not going to say wasting your parents' money, but you're paying basically to sit on the bench.
Right.
And that's not what you want to do. Get out of travel basketball. You want to be able to be productive and be able to help a team out and play. And that's all about most coaches not selling false dreams. If you have a kid that is not at the level of travel basketball, I always try to steer them to, instead of playing travel ball, go ahead and invest in a personal trainer if you want to get better.
Okay.
Instead of playing travel ball and you just sitting on the bench and you're not playing.
Got you.
So
Right.
that's
So you would
my
advise
thought
them,
on that.
instead of using the money that they would use for travel ball, because I'm sure it can be quite costly, it
Yes,
would probably be better to invest in a trainer to get their skills to the level so that they can be productive on that travel team.
yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Great information to offer to that young student athlete, because I'm sure across the country there are hundreds of thousands of young people who are spending money, like you said, and they're doing nothing but sitting on the bench because they're not ready to compete at that high of a level.
Right.
All right. So how many years did you actually have you coached, say from rec center to travel ball?
I started off coaching recreation when my boys were 6. When the age limit, well, 5, because you can start playing when you're 6. So, and my boys now are 16, so it's been 10 years.
Okay.
As far as recreation all the way to travel basketball. But before that, I was coaching recreation and semi-pro.
Okay. All right. And so we're gonna back up a little bit because we went through your high school. You went on to play high school. What high school did you actually play high school ball at?
I played at 71st High School here in Fayetteville.
71st High School, the Falcons.
Yes.
There we go. So yeah, what was your high school career like? Like, are there some highlights that you can remember during your time of being at 71st that's very memorable to you?
Well, my senior year was memorable. That's the year that we went to the state championships and we lost by 5 points in the state championship. We were kind of everybody called a stack team. I played with guys such as Michael Joyner, which went on to play at Florida State. Deion Dixon got offers from Clemson and other D1 schools. Tony Simmons. Um, what was it? He went got offers from D1 schools. Um, it was Justin Johnson, which went to Ole Miss and played. And we had other guys that were freshmen. Juan Wheat, which went to Yale, and Billy Houston. He went to I want to say Elon.
Wow.
So we were a type of team. We got to know each other, and we came up from recreation playing football, baseball, and basketball together. We all knew of each other. And then middle school, we played either on the same team or we were right across the street from each other from Lewis Chapel Middle School and Chestnut Middle School. So we played each other that way. And then we combined when we got to 71st. And we just put all our efforts into trying to be the best we could be at the time. So we spent the summer playing at Westover outside, on the outside courts when they had just made it. And then we were going on base, and playing against Army guys and even playing against alumni from 71st. We did that just to be able to be at the highest level we could be. And then our senior year, we got to play in a national tournament in Delaware. Um, so it was just trying to get to know it. We knew each other. We just wanted to be the best we could be. So we pushed each other to the highest we could push each other.
All right. All right. So being able to experience that, are those things that you kind of instill in your players today?
Yes. I instilled in my players hard work. You're not going to get anywhere unless you work hard. Put in what you want out of what you're trying to do, whether it is sports or trying to go to be in the army, be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever you want to be. You want to put your all into it and make sure you get everything you can out of it. Be a productive citizen.
That's good. That's good. And so after high school, you did go on to play some basketball on the next level. And just tell me about what was that transition like playing outside of the high school basketball.
When I finished playing at 71st, I went to a junior college. It's called Lenore Community College in Kinston, North Carolina, where I played for the late Coach Bobby Dawson. Um, he just, once again, out hard work. Um, when I got there, I wasn't really promised any playing time, wasn't probably going to play. And basically, coming from my mom, I calling home and just, hey, mom, it's not going to work. I'm ready to come home. My mom was like, hey, you got to do what you always got to do. You got to make lemonade. Go make
Right.
lemonade. So I'm sitting here like, mom, he's not trying to hear that. So just so happened the next day in practice, I went up against one of the best players that were considered on the team, and basically he couldn't do anything. So the coach put me on the first team, and I never got off. I started every game at Lenore Community College for the 2 years I was there.
Wow, wow. And what position did you actually play?
I played in college. I played a little point guard and shooting guard. I had the body frame where I could play 1 through 4. I was strong enough to play 1 through 4 any position. So they kind of used that to their advantage when I got to college. Um, High school, I played the 2 and the 3, shooting guard and small forward. So I was able to play multiple positions due to my height and my strength.
Wow. So it's funny you talked about playing multiple positions from the 1 to the 4. Earlier this season, I had Coach Taylor on. Cassandra Taylor is actually the coach up at Cheney University, the women's basketball coach up in PA for Cheney University. And she talked about her ability to transition as a coach because she had the knowledge of so many positions because she played multiple positions. So, how did that translate for you when you became a coach, knowing so many positions? What did it make it easier in coaching young people?
Well, it makes you able to relate to the players if you're able to play more than one position. I'm able to not only, I have a son, I got 2 sons. One is a point guard, and the other is a 4 and a 5. So I'm able to talk to them and explain to them about life experiences that I went through growing up and able to either train them or get them to understand why I need them to do what I need them to do on the floor.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And so you touched on it in coaching your sons. Um, what is that journey like as a coach? I'm always asking athletes who have been coached or even trained by their father or their mother. But now on the flip side, I have a coach who's been able to coach his children for multiple years. What has that been like? What kind of obstacles do you go through when you're coaching your own children?
It, it's a give and take. I enjoy coaching my boys. I love coaching them. I got into coaching because I wanted my boys to learn the right way to play basketball. When I was growing up and I was watching and I was like, they were about to get ready to play. And I do not want my sons to learn basketball just running up and down the court shooting up threes.
Right.
And so I was like, I need to start coaching. So I started coaching. I was coaching semi-pro, but I said I need to start coaching my sons, which I was already doing when they were 3, 4 months old, when they could hold on to a basketball. I started like everybody started off on the Dr. J goal. So I
Right.
started them off on the Dr. J goal and holding the ball, holding them up, dunking, shooting the ball, just playing with them, rolling the ball back and forth. It just started off from scratch. And I was a guy that everybody said I was way before my time. Basically, I was fundamental. I was always fundamentals. I wanted to play defense. I would rather pass the ball, get it to somebody, get them into the game, rather than me take a shot. I always put myself on the back burner for the betterment of my team.
That's good.
Um, so it was just teaching my sons that work ethic, and now it's started to produce what we see now in my 2 sons playing at the high school level. Um, and then I did coach them in middle school. I've coached them all their lives. It's just the mentality of kids today, from how they take the game and how they see the game. Like, I taught my sons a different way. Like, my oldest son, everybody says he has the old school kind of basketball game for us, the 4 and the 5. They don't see that a lot around here. Everybody wants to go to the 3-point line and shoot the three, where I instilled in him, hey, before you go out to the 3-point line, I need you to get this inside right. I need you
Right.
to work on your feet work, know how to drop step, you know, reverse pivot. You need to be able to do do everything on the inside before you can move out to the outside. So probably about last year, we started working on his outside game. My youngest one, just a pure point guard. He would remind you of CP3, Chris Paul. He would
Okay.
remind you how of him playing. He's just a floor general on the floor. Um, do we butt heads sometimes? Yes, we butt heads. Um, but in the end, they know if I'm telling them something that is for the betterment of them, it's just I want the best out of them. Um, and it's some stuff that growing up my dad didn't know and wasn't able to tell me that I'm able to pass on to them so they can be better players and achieve what they want to through basketball. So it's the challenge comes to the give and take to, it's 2025. Kids think they know everything. But in the end, I have to let them know, hey, this is how you do it and this is why you do it. Sometimes I have to get on the court and show them that, hey, I can still do this.
Gotcha.
I can still play a little bit, but I choose to coach now.
Right.
So it's I love it. I love seeing how they grow, have they grown since they were little. Um, they've come to some challenges that I've had growing up for as playing sports, um, saying you weren't good enough. I had a son, he just now starting to get his growth spurt. Malachi, he's he's about 5'9" right now.
Uh-huh.
Before he was just a little teeny tiny person just running around the court. He could play, but he was just small.
Right.
Then I had MJ, which he's always been big for his age, but nobody really wanted to work with him because he was clumsy.
Right.
He couldn't chew gum and run down the court at the same time.
Gotcha.
So, once they came into their own, it was like, oh, I've had such a lot of coaches say I've hindered my kids from playing because I've only coached them. I need to let them coach under other people. But thing is, when it first got started and the process got started, nobody wanted to work with them.
Right.
So now that I've done all the hard work, now you want to just take it and use them to win tournaments,
Right.
and that's it. And so
Right.
I just want to just one of my boys to have a level playing field and want to teach them the right way to play the game of basketball when
All
it
right.
came down to it.
Okay. All right. So I know you talked about just the experience with your teammates and those that you grew up with playing from the middle schools and how y'all joined together in high school. What are some of the differences that you see from back then compared to some of the young athletes and things today that's missing from maybe when you came up as a basketball player?
Um, well, first off, it's the toughness. Coaches are limited to what they can actually do with kids now these days. Back in the day, coach could be as tough as they wanted to with you, and you weren't gonna go home and cry about it to your parents. Um, Now, if you say something wrong, you sitting either in the principal's office with the parents, and you have to kind of tone down how you coach them due to the toughness and how kids perceive stuff now. They don't
Right.
understand that you're trying to get push them to be great. They just see you as, oh, he said this about me and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna tell my parents, and you just have this back and forth conflict. So it's hard to stay in between the lines, but I find a way to just I like most people, they notice that I don't stand up and be yelling during the games. So I try to do my coaching during practice, and then during the game is where you show me what you learn from practice. So it's
Okay.
more so the toughness that we had back in the day, physically, mentally, emotionally, that we were able to strive. And now, basically, if a kid has it, he has it. If he doesn't, it's hard to push them because you can't push them the way you need to get them where they need to go. Some of them do, some of them don't. Like my boys, I talk about them a lot, but most coaches that like last year they played for E. Smith. The coach was able to talk to them and get what he needed because I told him, I said, coach him, you coach him.
All
I gave him like whatever you need to do it.
right.
Um, because I know as a coach what it takes to be a good coach and what you need to get out of the kids. And some kids you're able to push to the limits and they can do it without the crying and the whining. Some kids can't take that. They can't take being pushed, so they limit themselves to how far they go for as the playing for as being a D1 athlete to being a JUCO athlete to being an NAIA athlete because of how much a coach can push them to be great.
Got you. Got you. So I want to ask, like, your sons are blessed to have you in their corner now. You've coached them, like you said, their whole career. Um, how do you handle the young person who you can tell from the gate when you start coaching them really has not had that positive male role model in their life? How do you, what are some things that you address with your young men, even outside of the game, about their everyday life and how they carry themselves?
Well, as a father, a coach, a teacher, you know, coming into it, we're mentors, some of them were fathers too, um, and we're just their role model, someone that they look to look to give them positive, to lead them and guide them along the way. We just is I just try to push them and steer them into the right direction, put them around people that are positive for as coaches. Myself, I try to do whatever I can to help them along the way for whether it's, hey, you need a ride home, if you need help with schoolwork, whatever they need. Hey, you're trying to go to school. Where are you trying to go to school at? Let's see what you need to do in preparation to get where you need to go from plan A to plan B to reach your goals.
Right.
Um, it's just like when it comes to coaching, the kids got to know you love them and you
Right.
care for them. And that's what I try to do. I let them know that I'm here. I want the best out of you. If you don't get a Scott, if you don't play another day of basketball, I'm here and I want you to be a productive citizen in the community doing something.
That's good. That's good. So, you're coaching now at Douglas Burton. You say you came from coaching. You were coaching actually in middle school prior to this year and starting at Douglas Burton, correct?
Well, I was coaching last year, the last 2 seasons, I was coaching at E. Smith.
Okay.
Um, I was the JV coach, head JV coach over there, and the varsity assistant coach at E. Smith. Before that, I was at Westover Middle School coaching and teaching social studies.
Okay. All right. So is it a big difference between the middle school level and now coaching on the high school level?
It is. Middle school, you only have about an hour and a half each day with the kids. If you're not in school, you're not practicing. It's a lot of lines you can't cross in middle school, for as the time management, the time you can work with the kids and things such as so. For as trying to develop fundamental skills is kind of hard at the middle school level unless they have a good AAU coach or travel ball coach that they're under and they get to train them throughout the year. Um, it's hard at that level to kind of teach the fundamentals that you need to teach for them to be um, good high school athletes when they get to that high school level and on to college. Um, so it is a difference when you get to high school. You basically got about a 2 hour frame you can work out each day, and then you have the weight room. You can go in and lift weights to get stronger. Study hard, make sure they are they stay eligible to play during the year. Um, the weekends, you have practice. You just can't have practice on Sundays, but Monday through Saturday, you can have a practice. And when you don't have games, you practicing basically. Like right now, we on Thanksgiving break. We won't come together again until Saturday. We had, what, 3 games in the last week, and then next week we have 3 games. So I said, I'm gonna let you. We gonna take this time. Had a game last night. We gonna take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Rest your body. Enjoy Thanksgiving, and we gonna come back on Saturday. Have practice, and then on Tuesday we play. I want to say Purnell Sweat. Um, at Purnell Sweat on Tuesday.
Okay.
So it's just about, and then being a player, former player, or it's resting your body and mentally and physically getting ready, prepare for games. That's where I'm able to relate to the boys too also.
That's good. That's good. And so I know you touched earlier about conversations with kids about playing on the next level. But what is some advice you give to your players, your high schoolers that you've been able to coach, um, just in regards to preparing for playing on the next level? What's some advice you give them for preparing themselves to play at that next level?
I always often tell them, if you play under me and you listen to me, I can get you where you want to go. For as D1, D2, D3, whatever your goal is, if you listen, I can guide you mentally, physically, academically to what you need in preparation to get where you need to go for as college wise, and if you want to go on and play professional. Um, and I let them know it's not going to be easy. If you want it, it's going to take hard work and it's going to take time. when nobody's watching you, that you have to go and work. And it's going to be days where people are going to go to parties and you're not going to be able to go to the parties. You're going to have to come get your rest, or you're going to have to be in the gym shooting. It's going to be days where you can't be everybody else. What they do, you can't do. So you have to change your lifestyle to how you live in order to reach the goals that you want to reach, um, athletically and academically.
That's good. That's good. What is some what are some things, even having two sons of your own, what would be some advice if you're talking to a group of young men? What's some advice you would give them in regards to just what to look for when they're deciding on what school they want to play for on the collegiate level? What are some things they should look for in that school?
First, they got to look at their academics, see where they stand at academically. And then from academic, you look at the coaches that's on staff, the playing style. Does the playing style fit your playing style? Are you going to be able to produce academically and athletically where you go? Because some people, they go to a school and you gotta listen to when you're getting recruited what the coach is saying. Is he telling you the truth? Do you got two or three players in front of you that you got to come and beat out? Um, is he gonna push you to be better? Um, are you gonna be in a position where you're gonna be able to help the team win, on the floor and off the floor? It's just you just gotta know certain things, and you got to do your research on the school, and know what it has to offer you and what you have to offer the school. Um, so that would be my advice to kids, leaving high school to college. Just know what you're getting into, what the school has to offer you, and what you have to offer the school, and just stick to the gameplay.
All right. So, you're in your first year at Douglas Byrd, and you're off and running. Anybody watch the show knows that shows are pre-recorded. So, when those that watch see the show, will be a few games further into the season. But you're starting the season off on fire. Three and 0, I believe you are.
Yes, we are. We're 3-0 right now.
3-0. What are some of your goals in your first year coaching there? And your sons are in what grade again?
They're in the 10th grade.
10th grade. So
Yes.
what are some of your early goals that you set for yourself and for your team for this season?
The goals is we want to get better each and every day. We want to win, and we want to win the right way. We want to work hard and put ourselves in position to be able to win each and every game. We know we're gonna have bumps in the road, but we want to win. We set goals to win championships. Um, so we're working towards those goals. Like I presented them with a package for as right now we're in preseason. You have about 10 preseason games. And so we want to try to go undefeated during the preseason. That would be season one. Then you would have the holiday classic. You want to go undefeated during the holiday classic.
All right.
Then you have the regular season. You want to win your regular season and come in first place. So that's season number three. Then you have the playoffs. That's season four. So you break the season down to four seasons, and you try to work it from that. You break it down to sections, and you build on each season.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So as we get ready to wrap it up, we always ask these last two questions. And Coach McDuffie, we thank you for joining us and the information that you shared with us. But I want to ask these two questions. You're talking to a group of young people, and these are two questions I always ask. I want to ask you, how important is it for the young person to have positive people in their circle?
You always want to have positive people in your circle. And then I talk to a lot of people about for as your circle being small. You don't have to have a lot of people in your circle. You just have to have people that are positive, going to push you, and they want the best for you at all times. They're not going to steer you and stray you to go the wrong way. Um, that you want to have that person, if you are doing the wrong thing, hey, go home. You want that person to be able to tell you the truth. You don't want a yes person around you all the time because that yes person might be saying yes at the wrong time and get you in some trouble. So I would say limit the people that you have around you, make sure they're positive, and make sure they want the best for you at all times.
That's good. I appreciate it. And our last and final question we always ask, who or what is it that inspires you most in life?
In my life, what inspired me, first and foremost, it was my mom and dad. Um, what I had to grow upon, and they put God in my life at a very young age. So being a Christian, that's one thing that always is first and foremost. He leads me, guides me along the way, and without him, you can't do too much of anything. Gives us the strength to wake up in the morning to do what I love to do, which is work with young people, coach, um, and just be able to be positive role model in the community. So those three are the main people, God and my parents leading me and guiding me. And then I've had coaches along the way that have been positive role models in my life who I still talk to today. Um, I have Coach Poole from 71st, and then I have my travel ball coach, Coach Sue from Greensboro, because I played travel ball out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And then me and Coach Tillman, we grew up together as kids, so we've known each other forever. So it's just putting people around me that are positive, like I said, not too many, but people that are going to push me and lead me in the right direction.
Well, I appreciate it, Coach McDuffie, for joining us. I wish you and Douglas Bird and the Eagles a successful season this year. So you all watching know we always say it is good to be great in the sport that you're playing, but it's even better to be great in life. So, like every show, I tell you, watching means nothing if you don't apply the information that's been given. So, the questions we've asked Coach McDuffie and his journey that he's shared, and even the advice that he gives to his young players, this is information that you can not only apply for yourself, but if you have a young player that you're connected to, giving them that information so they can be intentional in applying that information. And so, again, we thank you for joining us. And we just challenge you to continue joining us as we continue to go out and up. Thank you, and we'll see you next episode. Thank you, Coach McDuffie, for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.